the nation in scoring, had 25 points in that game, but he wasn't the only one. It seemed like everyone on the Wildcats had a big game against the Demons that afternoon. What stood out to you about that game after Connor Enright went down that just plagued the Blue Demons?
That was one of those games, I think, Zach, where it went from bad to worse and things just snowballed for us. You talk about Connor Enright being out of the game. We were double figures down at that point when he went out already at the 8-minute mark, but things just fell off the cliff after that. And you look at some of those numbers from that game. Villanova shot 60% from the field overall and 60% from behind the three-point line. They made 16 out of 27 threes. I don't care if Connor Enright's in the game or not. If the opposition is going to make 16 out of 27 threes, shoot 60% from the floor, that's the kind of stats you get when you're up big like they were. You play with a lot of confidence. The basket looks bigger. They just had things rolling. And I don't think that we're going to see a game like that again tonight. I think the Demons will be much more competitive.
You know, I look back at that performance, and then I zoom out and look at what Villanova's done this season. We mentioned 12-10, 5-6 in conference play. The Wildcats were picked to finish 7th in the Big East preseason coaches poll. Last year, they were 18-16, including 10-10 in conference play, and they ended up losing to Liberty in the first round of the NIT. But Villanova right back in that similar position of 7th. They've got a whole bunch of transfers that have been asked to play big roles. Philadelphia natives Jameer Brickus and Wooga Poplar. Brickus comes in from LaSalle. He averages more than 10.5 points per game, 5.5 assists per contest, goes for 5th in the Big East. Poplar is a 6'5 senior from Philadelphia, transfer from Miami. He's averaging better than 14 points per game, nearly 6.5 rebounds per contest, and is an excellent three-point shooter at 38%. They've got Enoch Buachi, who is a Canadian transfer from Fresno State, who began his career at Arizona State. He had 6 points, 14 rebounds against DePaul on January 3rd. Jordan Longino, who's been there for a very long time, the senior from Dolestown, Pennsylvania, had 19 points against the Blue Demons back on January 3rd. And I talked about Eric Dixon, who leads the nation in scoring, more than 24 points per game, 5+ rebounds per contest, 2+ assists, and he's shooting 45% from behind the arc.
Yeah, he's a guy that's a tough matchup for anybody to play with. He's big enough that if you play a perimeter player on him, he'll take you inside or go by on the dribble. If you try to put a bigger player on him, again, he can shoot from the perimeter. He draws the opposition's big guy out on the floor, if nothing else. It opens up the interior for the rest of the team. And if they don't come out and guard him, then he's going to knock down threes. As you say, one of the best three-point shooters, not only on Villanova's team, but in the country, and especially for his size. He's a big guy, and he's tough to match up with.
So he's a big guy who does a nice job on the boards as well. I talked about Buachi, the other big guy that they've got. How do you make up this size differential if you're the Blue Demons?
It's got to have it do with fundamentals is all you have. The physical ability, physical size is something you can't coach. So what these guys have to do is you go back to fundamentals. We've got, as we talked about, two of our bigger guys out with Troy D'Amico and David Skogman sitting out this game. But the guys that play, you have to get down low. You got to put your body on people and keep them off the boards. But that's obviously easier said than done. And Villanova able to hurt us in so many different ways.
Let's take a look at the college basketball scoreboard. We'll start in Big East play. One final is in New Jersey. Butler, a 30-point victory over Seton Hall, 84-54. And in the first half, Providence is leading Creighton 13-8. That game is being played in Rhode Island. Let's check the top 25 board right now. Late in the second half at the Dome in central New York. Second-ranked Duke all over Syracuse, 79-50. Meantime, fourth-rated Tennessee leads number 15 Missouri, 75-68. They are late in the second half. At the halftime break, 17th-ranked Memphis on top of Tulsa, 39-34 in Tennessee. Early going in the first in New Jersey, Rutgers all over number 23 Illinois, 19-6. And final on the board from Ann Arbor, number 24 Michigan knocks off Oregon, 80-76 in Big Ten play. Zach Zaidman and Dave Corzine with you here at Wintrust Arena. Our engineer this evening is Nick Hefner helping us flash the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. We want to thank DePaul University's Sam Cohen for all the help that he provides, making sure the broadcast runs smoothly. And so far, everything is just right. No hitches in tonight's broadcast, and we thank Sam for his fine work and contributions this evening. We thank him for everything that he does for DePaul as the Blue Demons get set for the rematch against Villanova here at Wintrust Arena. The Blue Demons come in at home with a record of 10-5. Dave, on the road, Villanova is just 1-5. So when I throw those numbers out, do they mean anything to you?
Yeah, I mean, what means something to me is Villanova has lost 5 out of their last 6 games. This is not the Villanova program that Jay Wright headed for so long, the national champions. Kyle Neptune has struggled since he's taken the head job. He's done a good job as a coach, but it's tough in this new era with players coming in and out every year. You don't have any continuity. That's something that Jay Wright was known for, is developing players throughout their career at Villanova. And right now, Villanova is struggling to find their footing.
Yeah, Neptune is in his 3rd season as the head man of the Wildcats. He's got a record of 47-43. He's 40 years old, spent 1 year as the head coach at Fordham before replacing Jay Wright when Wright retired in 2022. Neptune was a longtime assistant under Wright, including national championship teams in 2016 and 2018. Wright was 520 and 197 at Villanova. Let me repeat, 520 and 197 at Villanova, winning 5 Big East tournament titles and those 2 national championships, which is why Wright was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2021. And he had Gabrielle D'Annunzio, the late Gabrielle D'Annunzio, the phenomenal tailor who designed all those fancy outfits for Jay Wright over the years. He had a closet, a walk-in closet with, I think, about 2,000 different varieties of jackets and slacks and shirts.
I'd never be able to leave the house if I had to make a decision like that.
Yeah, that's not. You're a minimalist when it comes to.
I got one sport coat and I wear it no matter what.
Yeah, but I bring up the wardrobe because I'll tell you this: Neptune, very sharp when it comes to the wardrobe. He's just taken the court. And he's got a dark brown suit, which is just perfectly tailored, and a navy blue shirt underneath. So he's gone without the tie. A little bit of a cooler look. Remember, he's a little bit younger, a little bit hipper than Jay Wright. So the look is slightly different, but definitely a cool look. And many of his assistants also wearing the suits with the designer T-shirts underneath. The Blue Demons coaching staff going with the kind of outfits that you see most coaching staffs go with today. If they don't have to wear a suit, they won't. So they wear those windbreakers with the slacks. Coach Chris Holtman's got the dark DePaul windbreaker with the black slacks, and his assistants wearing the gray quarter zip tops with the black slacks. The Blue Demons wearing their traditional home white uniforms here tonight. I don't know about that move. And I'll tell you why. Because when the Blue Demons won over the weekend, they wore the road blue uniforms here at home. I don't know if you were superstitious as a player, but I'm thinking if something works, you go with it, right?
I am superstitious. I was superstitious as a player. And due to that, I hate when they change their uniforms. Nowadays, these teams all have like 3 or 4 or 5 different uniforms that they rotate through. I got enough things to think about, worrying about who am I playing against. What color my uniform is and what outfit we're wearing today is something that I never had to consider. And it may seem like something little, and some guys probably don't care at all, but I like continuity.
Yeah, and I'll give the full uniform descriptions for both teams coming up after the national anthems. But DePaul and Villanova honoring the Black Five, which honors the history of the pre-NBA African-American players in the United States. Many of them played in the cities that are now currently home to Big East schools. So prior to the national anthem here this evening will be the playing of the Black national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Let's pause now for that.
DePaul Blue Demons. At this time, we honor the many contributions of the men and women in our communities and come together to celebrate Black History Month with a performance of Lift Every Voice and Sing by saxophonist Trey Daniels. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will please rise, we're standing for the playing of our national anthem. Please join us in honoring our country.
Saxophonist Trey Daniels performing the national anthem this evening here at Wintrust Arena in the South Loop as we get set for DePaul Villanova, the rematch. The Demons trying to avenge a 44-point loss to the Wildcats back in January on the road at Villanova. Zach Sidman, Dave Corzine with you, our engineer Nick Hepner helping us plaster the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. This is game number 47 in the series. Villanova leads it 37-9, including that 100-56 win over the Blue Demons back on January 3rd. DePaul is 1-5 against Villanova since Kyle Neptune took over as head coach. Let's get right to the starting lineups for both the Blue Demons and this Villanova Wildcat team. And we will start with the Blue Demons, who will send out a different starting lineup tonight than usual with the news that Connor Enright, the Demons' redshirt junior point guard, is out for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. David Skogman, the big man, is out with a foot injury, and the big forward, Troy D'Amico, out as well with a foot injury here tonight. So the Blue Demons are going with a three-man backcourt featuring Layden Blocker, the Arkansas transfer as the point guard. He averages 8 points per game, 3 rebounds per contest, 3 assists per game. He is joined in the backcourt by C.J. Gunn. The Indiana transfer has been lighting it up for DePaul and Big East play, averaging just about 13 points per game in conference. Jacob Meyer is the third man in that backcourt. Meyer averaging 12 points per game this season, a sophomore transfer from Coastal Carolina. Up front for DePaul, not very big. Isaiah Rivera, kind of a swingman, will play the big forward position. Usually he's a big guard. 6'5" graduate transfer from UIC, who averages more than 9.5 points per game, but he does shoot 44% from three-point territory. And manning the middle for the Blue Demons is one of their best players, a junior transfer from Missouri State, 6'8" NJ Benson, who's averaging 9 points per game and 6 rebounds per contest, a block and a half per game too. But those numbers don't tell the whole story. He's just been a presence, and he gives the Demons a physicality that was missing in the early going of conference play. Meantime, for Villanova, Kyle Neptune sends out a team that's 12-10, 5-6 in Big East play. The Wildcats trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. They feature a 3-man backcourt. Jameer Brickus, 5'11", graduate transfer from LaSalle, who's fifth in the Big East in assists, averaging 5.5 per game. He also chips in with more than 10.5 points per contest. Wooga Poplar, W-O-O-G-A, Wooga Poplar, a 6'5" senior from Philadelphia, transferred from Miami, who averages more than 14 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per contest, and he shoots 38% from three-point territory. And the third man in that backcourt is Jordan Longino, longtime Wildcat, 11.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per contest, 2+ assists, also gets a whole bunch of steals. He had 19 points against the Blue Demons back on January 3rd. Up front for Villanova, big team, 6'11", senior transfer from Fresno State, Enoch Buachi, a Canadian who had 6 points and 14 rebounds against the Blue Demons back on January 3rd. And then there's Eric Dixon, not just one of the best players in the Big East, but one of the best in the country. He leads the nation in scoring, averaging more than 24 points per game, nearly 5.5 rebounds per contest, 2+ assists. He shoots 84% from the stripe and 45% from three-point range. He is a 6'8" graduate student who had 25 points against DePaul back in January. As I mentioned earlier, the Blue Demons wearing the traditional home white uniforms with the royal blue lettering and numerals outlined in scarlet, horizontal blue stripes on the sides of the jerseys and the shorts. Villanova wearing road navy blue uniforms, tops and bottoms, and they've got powder blue lettering and numerals, a big V on the side of the shorts. The officials tonight, Pat Driscoll, Lamar Simpson, and Ed Corliss. Benson will jump tip for the Blue Demons. Buachi will do the honors for Villanova. Size advantage to Buachi, 6'11". Benson is 6'8". Ed Corliss, the official, throws the ball up in the air, and Villanova controls the tap, moving from left to right from our vantage point, right near the DePaul bench here at Wintrust Arena. Demons come out playing man-to-man. Brickish has it off to the left in three-point territory, uses a screen, spins to the top of the key, a bounce pass now right of the lane. It's Dixon working on Benson, shakes the shoulders, floater up the left hand, back rim, no. Buachi the rebound, and we've got a loose ball foul on the play.
That's going to be a tough matchup for the Demons all night. Buachi, 6'11", he had 14 rebounds in the first game in only 22 minutes. So he is all over the boards, and right now the matchup has smaller guys on him.
Rivera picks up the personal, his first. 20 seconds gone by, scoreless game. DePaul and Villanova. Wildcats basketball. Head of the key, Brickus. Flips it now to Dixon. Three-point range to the left. Back to Brickus, head of the key. Off to the right. Poplar shakes the shoulders. Fires up a three. It was contested. Didn't matter. Knocks it down with a hand in the face from C.J. Gunn. So Villanova strikes first. A 3-0 lead over DePaul. 40 seconds gone by. Leighton Blocker operating as the point man. He's got it between the rings. Off a curl left side, it's Meyer. He dribbles up top. Back to Blocker wearing a white headband. Holds the ball by his left hip. Beats Benson, the big man at the head of the circle. And now he hands off to Meyer. Long jumper on the way. That's no good from the head of the circle. And a rebound taken down by Buwachi. Into the hands now of Brickus across the line. Straight away. Veers off to the right in three-point territory. Pass to the corner. Dixon's got it. Roaming baseline. Lost the ball. Taken away by Meyer. Here come the Blue Demons. Blocker behind the back with a dribble. Veering left. Angle cut off. So he flips it now to Benson in the corner. Cross-court pass is knocked away out of bounds along the far sideline by Villanova. It remains DePaul ball with 22 to shoot.
It's a tough matchup all night long with their size inside. That time, again, Isaiah Rivera went flying to the ground. No call.
A minute gone by here in the first half. It's Villanova leading DePaul 3-0. And DePaul has the basketball off to the right three-point territory. It's Benson. Gives to Blocker. Three-point range to the right. Off a curl. A bounce pass now to Rivera ahead of the key. Back to Blocker. Right side. And he'll back it out. 10 to shoot for the Blue Demons. Not much movement. Benson lost the ball. It's taken away at midcourt by Poplar, and he dribbles the ball off his foot, and Benson retrieves it under the basket. Back the other way comes DePaul. Right corner, gun for three. That's no good. Too strong, and the ball goes out of bounds along the baseline off to the left. It'll be Villanova basketball.
Poplar, for a while after he lost the ball, went running out into the stands there, but took him a long time to get back into the game.
Nearly 2 minutes gone by. Villanova a 3-0 lead over DePaul. Wildcats with the basketball at the free throw line. Longino loops the pass inside Dixon, and we've got a violation. A foul's been called on Villanova.
Foul on Dixon. Yeah. That is one advantage that the smaller player has over these big guys inside. It's hard. It's hard for the big guys sometimes not to foul them because just they're used to playing against bigger bodies and pushing around in there, and sometimes these little guys go flying.
Thanks for giving me the demonstration, Dave.
You know from experience.
Yeah, it hurts, man. Here's Blocker driving right, hangs in the air, and banks home a layup. So the Demons are on the board. 2 minutes gone by. Villanova 3, DePaul 2. Wildcats with the basketball left to right across the line comes the point man, Brickus. Checked by Blocker on the big Demon logo at center court. Brickus between the legs with the dribble. Hand in the face from Blocker. A bounce pass off to the left. Poplar has it, driving straight down the lane. Lost the ball. And a whistle on the play. That's because the ball hit the shot clock when it was knocked away and high in the air. So that'll give the ball to DePaul. 2.5 minutes gone by.
4 turnovers already for Villanova.
Yeah, very sloppy start here. It's a Blue Demons pace. Full court pressure now by the Wildcats. We expected this. Blocker beats it across the line with Enright out with that shoulder injury. Rivera has it near the midcourt stripe straight away. Off to the left, Blocker behind the arc. Now Blocker loops a pass inside. Left of the lane, Benson backing in. Whirls inside the paint. Layup, shot blocked by Buwachi. And Villanova comes up with the ball. Dixon has it in the front court, right corner, backing in on gun. Loops a pass inside. Buwachi, kick out left side. Poplar wide open for three. That's short. And skying for a two-handed rebound is Benson. He's fouled by Buwachi.
Wow. Buwachi had the ball right under the basket, being guarded by Isaiah Rivera. There's a huge size difference there. Instead of turning around and just laying the ball in, he threw it back out for a perimeter jump shot. They've got to take advantage of Villanova. You just want to pound it inside.
Villanova 3, DePaul 2. 3 minutes gone by here in the opening half. Layden Blocker has the ball off to the left for the Blue Demons. Uses a screen, spins to the top of the key. Now veers right of the circle. Up top, it's Meyer. 15 to shoot. Back right side, Blocker's got it. He accelerates, shovel toss, Meyer. Top key three. Back rim doesn't go. The long rebound is grabbed with two hands by Poplar. Villanova basketball. Longino across the line. Straight away. Checked by Meyer. Now a screen. Longino drives right, hangs in the air. Layup, no good. Missed the bunny. Rebound, Tyler Perkins. And he puts it home from the right side off glass. Villanova extends the lead. Now 5-2 over DePaul. 16-11 to go here in the first half. That ends a scoring drought of 3+ minutes for the Wildcats. Here's Gunn for three. He missed it from the head of the key. Rebound, Poplar, Villanova ball. Poplar into the front court straight away. Accelerates to the hole. Layup. Ball knocked away. It's loose and picked up by the Demons. Here comes Gunn across the line off to the right. Behind him, Rivera. A three on the way. The rainbow doesn't go. Weak side rebound taken down by Dixon for Villanova. 15:40 remaining in the first half. Wildcats 5, Blue Demons 2. Longino left of the lane, backing in on Meyer. Double team comes from Benson. Now Longino dribbles up high for three. That's no good. And the rebound grabbed by Isaiah Rivera for DePaul.
Slow start for both of these guys.
Gunn left side three. Rims out. Rebound Dixon. Now the Demons on a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes.
Demons 1 for 8 so far. Villanova 2 for 7. Nobody's shooting the ball.
Nearly 5 minutes ticked off the clock. Villanova 5, DePaul 2, and a steal at midcourt. Gunn out in front. Look out below. A right-handed stuff. It's a 1-point game.
That's what you want when you have a shooting slump. To get a breakaway like that and a dunk, that lights you up.
Villanova 5, DePaul 4, 14:48 remaining here in the first half. Longino off to the right, three-point territory. He'll launch. That's no good. Not a clanking of the rim here so far in the early going. Demons can take the lead on this possession. Down 5-4, nearly 6 minutes gone by. Blocker left the lane, hops up in the paint. Layup, missed the bunny. And another rebound for Buachi. Has the ball knocked away, and Buachi picks it up and hands off to Jordan Longino on the far sideline. Longino brings it into the front court. Veers off to the right in three-point territory, working on Blocker. A bounce pass inside. Dixon's got it right of the lane, working on Rivera. And he throws the ball off of Rivera, and it gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Villanova ball when we come back. But what effort by DePaul as we head to the first official timeout. The Demons have been in control, even though they're down by 1. 14-12 remaining here in the first half. Villanova 5 and DePaul 4. Zach Sidman, Dave Corzine with you. Dave, it is time now for the Starry Who's Hot segment. Who is hot for the Blue Demons?
I got to go with Layden Blocker, Zach. I can't argue with the Big East. They nominated him an honorable mention player of the week for the Big East this week. And Layden Blocker's done a nice job. Like I said, we talked about that before the game. Averaged 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2 steals per game. So the Arkansas transfer 6'2" guard sophomore is my player who is hot.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different, and Layden Blocker has been a different player over the last few games, and he's going to be asked to do a lot the rest of the way now as the new lead guard for the Blue Demons, with the news coming out earlier today that Connor Enright will miss the remainder of the season, recovering from shoulder surgery that he initially injured back on January 3rd at Villanova. 14-12 to go here in half number 1. Villanova 5 and DePaul 4. And Dave, it is time now for the Illinois Pork Producers recipe for the win. What does DePaul need to do to win tonight's ball game?
We're going to have to play better defense than we did at Villanova. Allow them to shoot 60% from the floor, 60% from behind the three-point line. And obviously that culminated in a 100-point output by Villanova. So first thing we've got to do is play better defense, which means shut down the perimeter guys, close out on three-point shooters. The problem is going to be inside rebounding the ball and guarding interior players. We're way overmatched in size. So the solution to that, got to get a body on them, got to block out as best you can, and try to prevent them getting offensive rebounds. So keep them off the offensive boards, got to close out the perimeter shooters, and then you've got to come down, move the ball when they're playing well offensively. They move the ball well and find open players. So that's what the recipe for success is today. Villanova,
a 10-4 advantage on the board so far. Nearly 6 minutes gone by, and it's the Wildcats on top of the Blue Demons, 5-4. DePaul is 2 of 10 from the field, 0 of 6 from three-point territory. That's something we're going to circle. A three-point number has to be a lot better for DePaul, especially with the Demons being shorthanded and lacking some big-time size without David Skogman and Troy D'Amico, both guys out with foot injuries. Villanova is 1 of 4 from three-point territory, 2 of 8 from the field. So it'll be Villanova ball out of the timeout, 15 to shoot. The Wildcats put it in play. Front court baseline right. Jameer Brickus will trigger in. Villanova has not scored in 2+ minutes. Again, 5-4 the score. Villanova with the lead, 14-12 remaining, half number 1. Brickus holds the ball chest high, waits for a cutter. Looking, feeds Longino right corner. Diagonal pass up high to Josiah Mosley. Back to Longino off to the right, drives to the hole, hangs in the air, lefty floater. Oh, goes short, fight for the rebound. J.J. Traynor grabs it for the Blue Demons, transferred from Louisville. Into the hands of Blocker across the line off to the left. Right side pass, David Thomas shakes the shoulders in the corner and now throws it up high. Blocker's got it between the rings. Blocker with a hard dribble, right hand switches to the left, drives left, kick out, Gunn, back to Blocker, head of the key. Blocker swings it back to Gunn, corner three from the left side, too strong. Trainer the rebound for DePaul. He's got it left of the lane, a fresh 20 for the Blue Demons. Trainer working on Brickus, feeds Benson left of the circle. Benson hard dribble with the right hand, flips now to Blocker behind the arc off to the right wing. Thomas has it left side. Up high, Benson with under 10 to shoot for DePaul. Benson backing in, turnaround jump from the free throw line. It rolls in and out. And the rebound knocked out of bounds off the hands of Gunn under the basket. It'll be Villanova basketball.
Benson having to throw that shot up out of his range, but shot clock running down. They did a nice job defensively, Villanova.
Villanova hasn't scored in 3+ minutes, but the Wildcats have the lead 5-4 over the Blue Demons, coming up on 13 minutes remaining in the first half. Bounce pass inside Dixon. He falls to the deck, and a foul has been called on the Blue Demons.
I don't know that Eric Dixon knows what to do with these guys. He can't figure out. He has stumbled and bumbled around since this game began. He's being guarded by players that are probably 50 pounds lighter than him and 6 inches shorter. Isaiah Rafila goes back in with the Eric Dixon matchup. It's funny to look at, but so far it's been effective. Eric hasn't been able to get anything going.
Blocker gets called on the personal, his first. Villanova ball. Dixon has it right of the lane. Up high now, off to the left. It's Brickus. He drives, angle cut off. Ball knocked away, out of bounds in the far corner. Last touch by Blocker. It'll be Villanova ball with 13 to shoot now as Brickus will trigger in the far corner.
He just came out in a zone. Let's see if they stay in it.
Brickus holds the ball, waist high, flips to Dixon, 3-point range to the left. What are the Demons doing defensively now?
Man here.
Dixon driving left of the lane on Rivera, whirls baseline and banks home a layup with a left hand. That's the first 2 points of the game for the leading scorer in the country. Eric Dixon now with 2. 12:40 remaining here in half number 1. Villanova 7, DePaul 4. Demons have gone on a scoring drought of 2+ minutes. David Thomas off to the left. Now between the rings, it's Blocker. Uses a screen, rolls right, now accelerates to the hole. Hop step, layup, high off the glass, banks it home.
Got rid of it just before Eric Dixon got there. Looked for the block shot, but he got it off just in time.
So that ends the 2+ minute scoring drought for the Blue Demons. It's a 1-point game coming up on 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Villanova 7, DePaul 6. Villanova ball off to the left. It's Longino, has the ball knocked away by Gunn and stolen by Gunn. He whirls into the front court. Inside the paint, floater to the right hand, back rim, no. And a rebound taken down by Mosley for Villanova. Looked like the Demons were about to take the lead, but no. Off to the right, Brickus in 3-point territory for the Wildcats. Between the legs with the dribble, bounce pass right of the lane. It's Dixon working on the much smaller Rivera. Shakes the shoulders, backing in. Double team comes from Gunn. Floater up, shot no. Foul called on CJ. And going to the line to shoot 2, Eric Dixon. After this official timeout. 11:40 remaining here in half number 1. It's Villanova 7 and DePaul 6. Zach Saban, Dave Corzine with you. And a reminder that Dave's recipe for the win was sponsored by the Illinois pork producers. Be sure to visit ilpork.com for more information and to find delicious pork recipes. We also want to remind you that Rush is proud to be the official health system and healthcare provider of DePaul Athletics, driven by discovery, innovation, and a deep responsibility for the health of our communities. Rush is a nationally outstanding patient care, education, research, community partnerships, and empowering a new generation of healthcare providers. Visit rush.edu for more information and to find a location near you. Well, Villanova looks nothing like the team that beat DePaul by 44 in the first matchup back in early January. 11:40 remaining here in the first in the rematch here at Wintrust Arena. And it's the Wildcats 7 and the Blue Demons 6.
Yeah, Villanova's struggling shooting the ball. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. In those 6 games, they're only shooting 43%. And that's been the problem for them throughout. They just came off their last game, 62-60 loss to Creighton. That was at home. They lost a home game before that to Georgetown by 1 point. So they're struggling shooting the ball. If they hold their opponents to under 70 points, they are a very good team. They are, over the last 2 years, they are only 3-18 though if teams score over 70 points against them. So they rely on their defense. They need to hold you under 70 points. but they're also going to need to put some points on the board here. Again, 60 points their last time out against Creighton, who's an up-tempo team. So tough time scoring points. They only shot under 40%, 39% in that Creighton game. So they are struggling on the offensive end, as we've seen here in the first 9 minutes of the game.
Villanova near the middle in most Big East categories. Number 1 in the league in foul shooting at 80%. Third in field goal percentage, 47%. But so far tonight, just 3 of 11 from the field. Villanova number 1 in three-point field goal percentage at 39%, just 1 of 4 so far this evening. Number 1 in made threes per game at 10 per contest. Blue Demons also average just a tick below 10 made threes per game, but Demons are 0 for 7 from three-point territory here tonight. Villanova, again, just 1 of 4 from three-point range. It's early, 11:40 remaining in the first half. Villanova 7, DePaul 6, and at the line to shoot 2 is Eric Dixon of the Wildcats. Dixon bends the knees. He flicks the left wrist and puts home the first free throw. Dixon, one of the best free throw shooters in the country. He's number 2 in the Big East in foul shooting at 84%. It's an 8-6 lead for Villanova. Dixon puts up the second free throw, and that one goes down as well. So Villanova extends the lead now up 9-6 over DePaul. 11:40 remaining in the first half. Layden Blocker right to left will bring it up against some full court pressure from Poplar. And Dixon, I should say, Blocker crosses the line off to the right.
Zone here for Villanova. They're in the 2-3 zone.
A screen from Traynor. So Blocker veers left. Now right side pass for Chris Little. 3 on the way for David Thomas. That's short. And a rebound for Riddle. The offensive board gives DePaul 20 to shoot. Riddle has the ball knocked away. And it was last touched by Villanova along the baseline off to the right. So it remains DePaul ball, 17 to shoot. Huachi is back in the game. Jordan Dumont sits for the Wildcats. And now Blocker will trigger in. Front court baseline right with 17 to shoot. Blocker holds the ball chest high. He feeds Traynor right on the lane. Hop step and a two-handed stump. A miscommunication defensively by Villanova, and DePaul takes advantage. It's a 9-8 game. Wildcats with the lead. 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Left to right across the line comes Jameer Brickus. He's huffing and puffing. And it's not been a fast-paced game. Bounce pass right of the circle. Dixon's got it. Checked by Rivera. Dixon fires up a top key 3. That's short. One-handed rebound for Traynor and the Blue Demons. Into the hands of Thomas. Across the line straight away. Left of the circle, Blocker. Now in the corner, it's Riddle. Diagonal pass up high, Blocker. Off to the right, Thomas. Demons doing a good job of moving the ball around quickly. Now Thomas backs it out. Feeds Blocker left of the circle. Back to Thomas off to the right. Shakes the shoulder. Steps back. 3 on the way. And he knocks it down from the right side. David Thomas gives DePaul the lead. 11-9 over Villanova. 10:15 to go here in half number 1.
Only the second three-pointer for David Thomas coming into that jump shot. He was 1 for 12 from behind the arc of the conference play.
Brickus has it off to the right. Spins to the top of the key. Swiping at the ball is Blocker. Brickus between the legs with the dribble. Uses a screen. Pops a right side 3. And that goes down. So Villanova goes back on top. 12-11 over DePaul. Under 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Layden Blocker off to the left. 3-point range with a left-handed dribble. Switches hands to the right. Now backing in Brickus. Spins to the free throw line. Kick out right side Rivera. Back to Blocker off to the left of the circle with 15 to shoot. Blitzed by a double team. Up high. Traynor for 3. That hits the front of the rim. No good. And rebound goes to Poplar of Villanova. 9.5 minutes remaining in the first. Villanova with a 12-11 lead over DePaul. Brickus between the rings. Now left of the circle. It's Dixon working on Thomas. Uses a screen. Fakes a 3. Diagonal pass up high. Brickus fakes a logo 3. Crossover dribble. Drives off to the left with 10 to shoot. It's Dixon. Drives inside the paint. Floater with the left in. No good. And a rebound taken down by Riddle for DePaul. Riddle brings it up across the line and throws it into the backcourt where David Thomas was standing on the other side. Oh, my. Turnover on the backcourt violation.
Well, David Thomas is trailing that play, not expecting to be in it. He had Chris Riddle out in front of him and really trying to hold up the transition. Throws it back to Thomas, and now he will sit down.
Chris Riddle, seldom used. He's from Kenwood, 6'5" freshman. This is just his 10th game of the season. 9:07 remaining here in half number one. Villanova 12, DePaul 11. Longino to trigger in for Villanova. Front court along the right sideline in front of us. Plays catch with Brickus. Now Longino has it straight away on the big DePaul logo at center court. Uses a screen from Buachi. Drives, stops, pull up, jump from the elbow. No, it's good. From the right side, it hit the front of the rim. Bounced high in the air and then dropped in. So Villanova now up 14-11 over DePaul. 8:47 remaining here in the first half. Thomas is bumped up top by Brickus.
Got a bailout call there on Brickus. Thomas lost the ball looking for behind the back dribble right into Brickus' chest. And they call a foul on Brickus, but good break for the Demons.
So C.J. Gunn will trigger in the front court along left sideline. Passes up high now to Thomas, who veers off to the left in three-point territory, shakes the shoulders, uses a screen now at the top of the key, veers off to the right, 15 to shoot for DePaul. Rivera has it left of the circle, back to Thomas off to the right. Thomas thinking about a three, doesn't shoot it, shakes the shoulders, drives, stops at the elbow. Now flips it out to Jacob Meyer. Foul line jump on the way with the left hand, no good. Rebound Meyer, put back, that's no good with the right hand. Fight for the rebound, it's loose. Tracked down by C.J. Gunn at the free throw line. Kick out right side, wide open for three. Meyer missed it short, tap back, goes down. N.J. Benson from the left side.
Double, triple effort. They kept going on the boards. They finally get it to go.
Ends a scoring drought of 2+ minutes, and the Demons within one. Coming up on 8 minutes remaining in the first. Villanova 14, DePaul 13. Brickus has it head of the key. A pass to the free throw line, knocked away by Thomas and stolen by the Demons. Thomas, alley-oop, catch, jam! C.J. Gunn flying in, straight down the middle of the lane. DePaul goes back on top. 15-14 over Villanova. 7:51 remaining here in the first half. What a start for the Blue Demons.
It's been a brick throwing contest early in this game. 8 minutes ago in the first half, it's 15-14. Both teams unable to get much going offensively. Villanova 5 for 15, 33%. They made 2 out of 6 of their three-point shots. On the other hand, Demons doing even worse, 7 out of 23, 30% shooting. They're only 1 for 11. David Thomas knocked down that 1 3-pointer finally, but neither team able to find the bottom of the basket. Right now, rebounding is evened out a little bit more. Demons with 12, Villanova with 14. Demons, 5 of those rebounds have been offensive. So nice job. We just saw that last possession, 2 or 3 second shots there as they kept on the boards and got second and third chance opportunities. But Demons right now with a 1-point lead, and they're doing it with defense. Villanova not very sharp. They have 7 turnovers here already in the first half.
Experience the excitement live at Wintrust Arena. Tickets to upcoming games are on sale now at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Again, that's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Official Pat Driscoll, along with fellow official Ed Corliss, taking a look at the replay monitor at the scorer's desk. And they're taking a look to see if David Thomas was clearly behind the line on that 3-point shot that he was credited with a little bit earlier.
Don't want to take that one away from him. He was 1 for 11 on the season coming into that shot. They give him a 3.
If they take away the 3 and give him a 2, it is a 3. So forget it. They're giving him the 3-point shot. And that means DePaul still has the lead, 15-14 over Villanova, 7:51 to go here in the first half. Cannot stress this enough. Dave, the Blue Demons were embarrassed. They've not been embarrassed many times this season. They were embarrassed at Villanova January 3rd, losing by 44 points. Granted, they were shorthanded, missing some of their key players. No David Skogman. Connor Enright only played 8 minutes because he injured that right shoulder. But Enright's not playing tonight. Skogman's not playing tonight. And neither is Troy D'Amico, and the Demons have the early lead, 15-14 over Villanova with 7:51 to go here in the first.
Again, it's been very interesting to watch their big guys, Eki and also Eric Dixon. They can't figure out how to take advantage of the size difference. Both of those guys play somewhat, especially Eric Dixon, play somewhat of a perimeter game because he's used to matching up against a bigger guy. He wants to pull that guy out on the floor or he can drive by him or possibly shoot over him. But Demons with a very small lineup here, and it really seems like it's confusing the Villanova team. Eric Dixon only 1 for 4 with 4 points. Remember, he is 9th now on Villanova's all-time scoring list. He's just passed 2,000 points in his career, averaging 22.8, leading the conference in scoring. But again, this is a matchup that seems to be confusing him a little bit. You think he'd have a big advantage, but they got to put him down on the low block. He's still playing out in the perimeter.
Back to live action. Villanova basketball. Left to right across the line comes Jordan Longino. Off to the left. Working on Thomas. Spins. Left of the lane. Whirls inside the paint. Up fake. Wild floor with the right hand. Counted and one.
That's what I think you're going to see a little bit more of. Is just bully ball. We are outsized at every position. If you're looking out on the floor here, it's Villanova with a much bigger team. They're able to just back us down. Again, Eric Dixon picked up the offensive foul on that one possession because he's backing down Isaiah Rivera, who's a much smaller player.
Longino puts up the free throw and knocks it in. So Villanova takes a 2-point lead, 17-15 over DePaul, 7:41 to go. And here comes full court pressure by Nova. Far sideline, it's C.J. Gunn working against Dixon. Diagonal spin to the middle, and he crosses the timeline. Now to David Thomas, the backup point man, has it between the rings, bounces to the left with a right-handed dribble, switches hands on the dribble. Villanova now veers out, man-to-man defense. Thomas drives straight down the lane. Layup hits the underbelly of the rim, and the shot is no good. Villanova back the other way. Brickis has it at the top of the circle. Bounce pass inside. Dixon up fake on Thomas. Layup with the left hand for the right side. No good. Rebound. Benson for DePaul. Quick outlet into the front court. Meyer off to the right. Feeds Thomas right of the circle. Thomas holds the ball waist high, penetrates, kick out left side in three-point territory. Rivera now drives to the right elbow. Behind him, Thomas, a three on the way. That's good from the left side. And the Demons take the lead. 18-17 over Villanova. 6:50 to go here in the first half. The Demons are beginning to light it up from three-point territory. The last few possessions after struggling for the first half of the first half from behind the arc. Villanova ball, Dixon, left side three is no good. That was short. Rebound taken down by Gunn. Outlet Thomas across the line straight away. Off to the left, Rivera in three-point territory. Check by Longino. Rivera backing in. Mid-post left of the lane. Backs in on Longino. Turns baseline. Up fake. Corner pass, Thomas on the right side. 15 to shoot for the Blue Demons. Myers got it head of the key. Off to the left, Rivera. Gives to Benson right of the circle. Now Myers got it at the right elbow. Bounce pass to the free throw line. It is Benson. Whirls inside the paint. Wild layup is an air ball as he was falling away off to the left. And Villanova comes up with a loose ball. Brickis across the line, off to the left side. Uses a screen from Buachi and veers to the top of the key. Hesitation dribble, now drives right. He loses the basketball. It goes out of bounds under the basket. They say it was last touched by Meyer of the Blue Demons. Active hands by DePaul. It remains Villanova ball with 17 to shoot.
I don't understand. Obviously, I'm not the coach Kyle Neptune is, but I don't understand why they don't have Biaggi and Eric Dixon down on the block. They've got those guys playing the perimeter against much smaller players. I'd put those guys down low.
5:47 to go. First half, DePaul 18, Villanova 17. Longino to trigger in. Front court baseline right. He feeds Buachi off to the right in three-point range. Now Longino has it. Three-point range to the right. Drives. Pull-off jump on the way. The long two goes down. And Villanova is back on top of this seesaw game. 19-18 over DePaul. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first. Blocker with the basketball for the Blue Demons. Head of the key, uses a screen, veers right, blitz by a double team, calls out a set play, gives to Rivera left of the circle. Rivera shakes the shoulders, now between the legs with the dribble, 15 to shoot. He's checked by Dixon. Benson's got it, head of the key, whips a pass inside, Gunn fouled on a layup attempt.
That's what you want to do against teams that pressure the passing lane. Look for that backdoor pass. C.J. Gunn makes a nice cut, and N.J. Benson able to find him and get the ball to him. It's important that you got your head up, you're seeing the floor, you're watching what's happening. A lot of guys dribble with their head down. They can't see their teammates, what's happening on the floor. So great job by N.J. Benson. Great cut by C.J. Gunn.
Gunn puts up the first free throw, and that doesn't go. C.J. on the year is a 74% free throw shooter. 5:18 remaining here in the first half. Villanova 19, DePaul 18.
First free throw the Demons have shot in this game. Villanova 3 for 3. That's the first time the Blue Demons have been to the free throw line.
Gunn bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, knocks down the second free throw, tying the game up at 19. 5:18 remaining here in the first. DePaul and Villanova all knotted up. Jordan Longino operating as the point guard, brings it up across the line, veers off to the right three-point territory, a bounce pass right of the lane. Dixon, pull-up jump from the baseline.
Again, I don't know why he's taking such deep shots. Go down low.
Demons basketball. Blocker across the line, off to the left. Yeah, don't make him change the strategy. Blocker dribbles to the left corner. He's being guarded by Dixon, and now moves it up to Rivera, head of the key. Back to Blocker, off to the left of the circle, under 15 to shoot. Blocker, hard dribble with the right hand, spins to the top of the key, flips it now to Rivera with under 10 to shoot, off to the right in three-point territory. Jab step right. Now a pull-up three. The high arcer hits the back of the rim, no good from the right side by Rivera. And Villanova with another rebound. Longino across the line, off to the right. 19 all. DePaul and Villanova, 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. At the free throw line, Dixon working on Blocker, shakes the shoulders, drives right, whirls left, inside the paint. Wild footer off glass, counted and one.
He got lucky there. He kind of lost control of the ball. His letting Blocker grabbed his arm, but shot went high up in the air, hit the backboard, and went through the hoop. So he got a break there. But again, he's trying to dribble down Layden Blocker, a guard. He's trying to get the ball at the three-point line and dribble a guard down under the basket. I don't understand the strategy.
And now official Pat Driscoll calls time. And he's just announced that they're going to take a review to see who exactly was whistled on the foul.
I don't know. It seemed pretty obvious to me. I don't know what they're looking for.
So they're looking to see if it's a common foul or a flagrant, right?
If you say so. I don't know. It looked like he just driven in the lane.
And now the officials have said it's time for an official timeout. A media timeout is what they call it. 4:22 remaining here in the first half. Villanova 21, DePaul 19. And Pat Driscoll, the lead official, is going to go back to the replay monitor and use that electronic toggle and check to see what's going on. And we'll find out momentarily what the call was there. I don't know what they ruled. 4:22 remaining here in the first half. Villanova leading DePaul 21-19. Even Dibbs knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/DePaul to enter. Your ultimate beach break is a click away. Blue Demons have gone without a field goal for the last 2 minutes and 34 seconds, but they found themselves right in the game with 4:22 to go before halftime. Wildcats 21, Blue Demons 19. DePaul shooting 29% from the field. Villanova shooting just 38% from the field. It's been a sloppy game, but this is the kind of pace the Blue Demons need in order to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, you don't want to see Villanova get it going. Remember, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, lead the Big East in three-point shooting. And they're a team that can be explosive, but they've been having, as I say, a hard time putting points on the board. They only had 60 points in their last game out against Creighton in their loss to Creighton. Last time we played them, obviously we talked about how lopsided that score was, but they had 48 points at the end of the first half. So not the same type of performance by Villanova. They haven't played as well as they had against the Blue Demons since that game, really. As I said, they've lost 5 out of their last 6 at St. John's, at Xavier. A couple losses. The only one they've had in their last 6 games was at home against Providence, a 2-point win, 75-73. So they've lost their last 3, 2 of those at home to Georgetown and Creighton and on the road to Marquette.
Right, so we've gotten some clarification on what the officiating crew reviewed. Initially, the foul was called on Layden's Blocker. Instead, the personal foul has been changed to C.J. Gunn. Eric Dixon knocked it down and was fouled by Gunn. So now Dixon will go to the line and try and complete an old-fashioned three-point play for Gunn. That foul,
The second foul now.
is his second personal. Dixon back at the stripe. 2 for 2 tonight. I mentioned he's number 2 in the Big East in free throw shooting at 84%. Left-handed Dixon bends the knee, snaps the wrist, and knocks down the free throw. So Villanova goes up 22-19 over DePaul. 4:20 remaining here in half number 1. Dixon now with 7 points. David Thomas brings it up across the line for the Blue Demons. He's got it on the big DePaul logo at center court. Left of the circle, blocker back to Thomas, off to the left in three-point range. Spins to the top, he whips a pass, mid-post, straight away, Trainer. Back out, Thomas for 3, bullseye from the head of the key. David Thomas making some big-time contributions here in this first half, tying the game up at 22.
That's his third three-pointer, 3 out of 4. He only had 1 all season long before today.
3:45 to go here in the first. A 3 on the way. Right corner. Jordan Dumont, a reserve guard, knocks down the tray. And it's now 25-22. Villanova over DePaul. Coming up on 3.5 minutes to go here in the first. Thomas has it left of the circle. Uses a screen. Crossover dribble. Drives to the right elbow. Now backs it out. Gives to Gunn ahead of the key. Back to Thomas. 3-point range to the right. Gunn left of the circle, shakes the shoulders, gives to Rivera up top. Rivera drives right, hops up in the paint, layup, counted and one! Isaiah Rivera with a strong move to the basket. Demons have an opportunity to tie. They're down by 1 after the bucket by Rivera, but he's going to the line.
Big finish by Isaiah there. He typically is a perimeter shooter. He's got that rainbow three-point jump shot that he likes to have, but that time the little ball fake, drove right by his defender, got to the lane, got fouled, and knocked down knocked down that little layup.
Rivera misses the free throw, so the Demons remain down by 1. 3:15 to go in the first. Villanova 25, DePaul 24. Across the line, straightaway Longino. Hands off now to Dumont off to the right. Dumont uses a screen and gives the ball to Longino between the rings. Longino driving right, hesitation. Low block, working on Thomas, spins inside the paint, floor with the right hand, he rolls around the rim and drops in. And Villanova goes up 27-24 over DePaul with under 3 minutes remaining in the first.
Longino knows what to do when he's got a mismatch there. He just took him down into the lane and scored on him. That's what Eric Dixon's got to do more of.
Inside pass, right of the lane, Trainer, hop step in the paint, kick out, left corner, blocker had a wide open 3, didn't shoot it. Back up high, left of the circle, Rivera fakes the 3, puts it on the floor, pull up, jump to the free throw line, and air ball that bounces out of bounds under the basket.
A little bit of a heat check there after knocking down that layup, taking it to the rim. That time tried to pull up for a jumper, not as hot as he hoped.
2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Villanova 27, DePaul 24. Wildcats with the ball. Longino across the line, off to the left. Working on Gunn. Loses the ball, taken away by Gunn. Corrals it. Diving in there is Longino, and we've got a whistle. What's the call? I'm screened out of the play.
I don't know if they called the foul or.
All right, so C.J. Gunn called time before timeout.
Yep.
C.J. Gunn is the call, so the Demons have possession. 2:21 remaining. It's a quick timeout. I'm not sure if C.J. Gunn had complete control of the ball, but
A little bit of a scrum on the floor. That's C.J. Gunn there with possession and the timeout. That's his third steal. If you remember earlier, in a couple where he had breakaways after the end of the steal and finished up with the other side. One time missing the short little jumper, the other time finishing up with a dunk. So his third steal there, he's been effective in disrupting the Villanova offense.
Blue Demons putting up a whale of a fight here in this first half. They're shooting just 33%. They're shorthanded if you're just tuning in. Blue Demons missing 3 of their key contributors. Connor Enright, who's going to miss the rest of the season after undergoing shoulder surgery to fix that shoulder that he injured back in January at Villanova. And 2 of their big men, David Skogman and Troy D'Amico, out with foot injuries. And yet DePaul, a much smaller team than Villanova tonight, is hanging around. 3-point game. 2:21 remaining before halftime. Wildcats 27, Blue Demons 24, and it'll be DePaul ball out of timeout in the backcourt along the far sideline. Isaiah Rivera triggers in, feeds blocker, crosses the line off to the left. Now past the gun for three. That's no good, short. And rebound, Clayton Blocker, right of the lane. Kick out Rivera, corner three. That's short from the right side. And the loose ball knocked out of bounds. It was last touched by the Blue Demons, Villanova ball.
Demons doing a nice job. We talked about how undersized they are compared to this Villanova team, but they're only being out-rebounded 20-16. That's their sixth offensive rebound, so they've been aggressive. They've been the ones that are working harder on the boards. Demons going to look like they're coming out in the zone here.
So Longino crosses the timeline, wiggles his right hand to set up the offense for Villanova as he dribbles with the left. Here's off to the right. Up top, Dixon working on blocker, shakes the shoulders, jab step left, moves right, reverses it now left side, left to the lane, hop step. He is quadruple team, pass knocked away along the far corner. It was last touched by the Blue Demons. Villanova ball with 7 to shoot.
I do not understand why they have Eric Dixon at the top of the key trying to dribble drive against guards, but consistently that's been what they've been looking for offensively.
So now in the far corner, Ruga Poplar will trigger in for Villanova. He holds the ball chest high. He had 7 to shoot. Inside pass, Buachi, who stepped along the end line, left of the lane. Turnover. Demons catch a huge break.
Villanova just not playing very good basketball, allowing the Blue Demons who are shorthanded to stay in this game here in the first half.
What an unbelievable first half by the Blue Demons. 1:38 to go before halftime. DePaul down 3, but with the ball. Clayton Blocker has it off to the right, three-point territory. David Thomas head of the key, shakes the shoulders, drives right, hangs in the air, scoop layup, banks it home. Demons down by 1 with 1:25 to go before the end of the first half.
Again, defensively there, again, Eric Dixon guarding our point guard. David Thomas goes right by him. I don't understand the concept.
Villanova 27, DePaul 26, coming up on a minute remaining here in half number 1. Bounce pass, left elbow, Buachi. Now jumper on the way is good by Longino off to the left, a long 2. It's 29-26 Villanova over DePaul, under a minute to go before the end of the first half.
Longino in double figures now with 11 to match David Thomas, who's got 11 first half points.
And Thomas has the ball off to the right, being hounded by Perkins. Loops a pass inside. J.J. Traynor right of the lane, back to Thomas. Three-point range to the right. Head of the key now, Blocker. Back to Thomas, right wing, under 10 to shoot. He'll launch a 3. That's no good. It was short. Rebound Poplar for Villanova. Left to right across the line comes Longino. 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. Longino looks behind him. Kyle Neptune, his head coach, is screaming out of play. Villanova 29, DePaul 26. 15 to shoot. About a 5-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Longino looks up at the shot clock, under 10 to shoot. Verbally calling out a set play. Crossover dribble, uses a screen, veers right, penetrates, pull up, jump right out of the lane. Is no good. A one-handed rebound put back by Perkins, won't go. Demons come up with the ball. 3 seconds remaining. Got across the line at the top of the key. Gives to Rivera. Left side 3. No good at the buzzer. But what a first half for DePaul. They head into the locker room shorthanded, but not undermanned. Villanova 29, DePaul 26 after the first 20 minutes of play.
It's a strange game. Villanova just not doing anything right. The Demons are able to take advantage of that. And as you say, stay in. It's a 3-point game at half. They're only shooting 31%. They took 18 threes in that first half, but only made 3 of them. Villanova with 3 also, but they only took 8. It seems like every time DePaul hit a 3, Villanova followed up with a 3 of their own, each of them with 3 3-point shots in the game. Villanova, though, with 9 turnovers in the first half. As I said, only 42% shooting. They've got their big guys out on the floor trying to dribble drive against our guards. And that's a place where we want them to be, out more on the floor rather than under the basket. But right now, Demons only down 3 points at the half at 29-26.
This was a game just about a month ago that the Demons looked like they didn't even belong in the same stratosphere with Villanova. The Wildcats beat the... But what a turn of events tonight for the Blue Demons. Can't say enough about the grit and the fight that the Blue Demons have put up over the first 20 minutes of play. As Dave mentioned, Villanova 29, DePaul 26 here at the half. Let's take a look at the college basketball scoreboard. We will start in Big East play right now in the second half. Good one going on in Rhode Island. Providence leading Creighton 54-52. Final from earlier in New Jersey. Butler an 84-54 drubbing of Seton Hall. Let's check the top 25 board in the second half. Rutgers is leading number 23 Illinois 47-41. That game's being played at the Rack in Jersey. Finals on the top 25 board. No contest at the Carrier Dome. Number 2 Duke an 83-54 whopping of Syracuse. Number 4 Tennessee beating 15th rated Missouri tonight 85-81. 17th ranked Memphis an 83-71 winner over Tulsa. And in Big Ten play in Ann Arbor, 24th rated Michigan knocks off Oregon 80-76. Here at Wintrust Arena, Villanova 29, DePaul 26. And Dave, it's time now for the first half recap, brought to you by Aries Charter Transportation, an official charter bus provider of DePaul Athletics.
All right, the news isn't that bad for Demon fans. Their Demons have held the UConn Villanova team to only 29 points. They had 48 points in the first half in their first meeting. Individual scoring, Jordan Longino, the only player in double figures for Villanova, with 11 points. Eric Dixon, the leading scorer in the country, with 7 points, but he's only 2 for 8 from the floor. Other scorers, all with 3 points. Jameer Brickus, Ruja Poplar, and Jordan Dumont with 3 points apiece. That is Tyler Perkins with 2 points. So that rounds out the scoring, 29 points for Villanova. For DePaul, the only player in double figures, David Thomas, off the bench in a little over 12 minutes with 11 points to match Jordan Longino there in Villanova. 5 points for C.J. Gunn, 4 points for Layden Blocker, and then 2 points apiece for J.J. Traynor, Isaiah Rivera, and N.J. Benson. Rebounding, N.J. Benson leads the Demons with 4. Ruja Poplar and Tyler Perkins, each with 4 for Villanova. Villanova shooting 42% in the first half, 11 for 26, only 3 for 8. Remember, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams as far as numbers made and percentage in the Big East. Demons do a nice job holding them to only 3 for 8 in the first half. Demons shooting, unfortunately, only 31% themselves on 11 for 35 shooting. They took 18, over half of their first half shots were from behind the three-point line, and they only made 3 of those. David Thomas, who'd only made 1 3-point shot in the season, 1 for 11. He came into tonight's game, has made all 3 of them. Is 3 that the Demons have. He's 3 out of 5. Other players for DePaul, 3-point shooting, Isaiah Rivera, 0 for 4.
With the WEX card, you can earn up to 3 cents per gallon at 95% of U.S. gas stations and automate fuel expense tracking. Simplify business fueling. Fuel your business with WEX. Click the banner to learn more or visit wexcard.com. Terms and conditions apply.